What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. Let's talk Married at First Sight, Season 19, Episode 9, Two Truths and a Lie. Before we get started, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, hype the video, and then leave your comments down below. I have to commend y'all. Let me give y'all a round of applause. I have to. Because because I don't have to tell y'all not to put spoilers. Y'all are just not doing it. And to me, that just shows a huge level of respect for me. I appreciate you guys so much for that. Like, I haven't had one spoiler, and we are on episode 9. I'm able to watch the show, and it's exciting, right? And I don't know what's to come. So I appreciate that with you guys. But we got to have a talk though, because y'all aren't subbing. Now, I don't know what's going on. Is it because of the difference in format, right? Because Love Island would never. And somebody said I cannot compare Love Island to this, and I feel like I can, right? Because we are the family here. Married at First Sight built my channel. Y'all ain't subbing. What's tea? What's tea? Why y'all not subbing? Like, we got goals to hit, okay? We trying to get to 50,000 by the end of the year. Y'all ain't subbing. I don't know what I did to y'all. Is it because I don't know? I don't know what the answer could be. But if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. I'ma still do the videos for y'all because I ain't like that. But okay, but let's go ahead and get started, y'all. So I had a lot of really good conversation in my comments from the last video where you guys feel, not all of you, but some feel that I am male identified because I am not 1000% on Brittany's side. I'm going to give you guys the recap that you want, okay? I'm going to give y'all the recap that is going to make y'all feel better about yourselves. Just wait till we get to their part, okay? Y'all ready? Let's go. So we start off with everybody receiving the annual sex box, okay? Where they're getting the feathers and the nipple tassels and the butt plugs and the pleasure toys, okay? That's what's happening now. Everybody seemed to be okay, what with it. I don't remember seeing Rhonda and Pat get one. They probably don't need it. But Belinda was like, I'm not into toys. I just feel like you go through that phase of life and then that's it. And Chad was like, nah. Nah, like I said before, Belinda seems a little prudish to me, and it could just be because of the cameras, and that's fine. So let's focus on Belinda and Chad. So they're at a brewery, they're hanging out, and Belinda is saying how she just feels safe with Chad, almost like he cradles her. She said, he got me right here. Right here. So she feels good about Chad. I think they're cute together. Like I said, I like them together. Um, I wanted to work with Belinda and Chad. Honestly, if there's any couple that I wanted to work with this season, it is them because I feel like he genuinely likes her. I think she likes him, but they're giving some backstory. So Belinda is from a small town called Robstown, which is just outside of Corpus Christi in Texas. Now she was like, it's a real small town. Like my graduating class was 250 people, barely. I said, well, shoot, my graduating class from high school was 343. However, I am in Milwaukee. It's a shit ton of high schools here. So maybe that was like the small town that everybody went to the same high school. But I was like, in retrospect, I guess, but sure. So, okay. But she was like just kind of talking about how the stuff that they used to do, like, we used to have to sneak in the back alley and find someone to buy beer. And like, it was really good to see her talk about her childhood. And then she talked about the difference in raising her children in the bigger town that they were in, the bigger city, and how she grew up in that small town. Chad is from Baton Rouge. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I didn't really pay it. I didn't write any notes about Chad and how he was talking about Baton Rouge, but I think that the focus of this was more so Belinda. Okay, so Chad is like, I've never been to Robstown. Is it north or south of Corpus Christi? Belinda doesn't know. What do you mean? What do you mean? So then Belinda is like, I don't know north, south, east, or west. Here in Milwaukee, we got a little something something called Lake Michigan, one of the 5 Great Lakes, right? The shit is east. Is east. So anywhere in the city, if you are wondering what direction you're facing or what direction you should be going, you picture where the lake is, okay? As I am sitting now, my hand is point towards the east. Never eat shredded wheat. That's how it goes. The north is behind me. I'm facing south. Belinda, baby, I want to let you rock and roll with this, but I'm gonna need you at your big age. Like, girl, you ain't never looked at a fucking map? That bothered me, Belinda. That really did. I was not okay with that. I'm gonna be real with you, Belinda. I was not okay with that. You too damn old not to know. Because if you ask me, is Milwaukee north or south of Chicago? It's north. Is Milwaukee north or south of Green Bay? It's south. Like, it's Sunday, it's Sunday morning, so I'm not gonna do too much because I still got to go to Bedside Baptist. But Belinda, so then we get to Josh and Jalen. Dr. P and Pastor Cal come over. Where is Dr. Pepper with her childish ass name? She ain't involved this season. You can't fly on over to Austin. Where you been at, sis? What's tea? Nonetheless, we find out that we got to get to the issue of this lying situation. And like I said in my last recap, it is not the fact that he was still following the ex. It's the fact that you lied about it. An unnecessary lie, truth be told. Josh said that he panic responded and said that he unfollowed his ex when he didn't. Why is it a panic? You know what I mean? What is there to panic about? Either you unfollowed her or you didn't. But you panicking is giving childish, okay? So Jalen is like, look, I'm not saying that he's cheating, but it is based on past relationships. It is very easy to kind of assume or have that looming feeling that yes, some shit might be going on. And I'm like, I see what you're saying, Jalen. I do, but I also have always believed that when you put somebody in the corner and you try to force somebody to do something, it's never gonna work out the way that you want it to. You forced him to want to unfollow his ex. That's the bigger issue. It wasn't him being like, you know what, you unfollowed all of yours, I'm going to do the same. He felt pressured to do it. And that's why he lied about it, because he doesn't want to unfollow her. You want him to. That's the difference, okay? So she's now wondering, Jalen, if this is a red flag worth walking away from. Dr. P said, wait a minute. Everybody just stop it, okay? You were in a different level of commitment. Okay? You're no longer dating. You're married to this man. So there's going to be some things that you got to kind of acquiesce to. So Dr. Pia feels that Jalen has to learn to leave the hypervigilance from past relationships and not let it bleed into this relationship. It's very easy, and it's easier said than done, right? It's very easy to say, in my last relationship, I know that he was stealing money out my purse. So I couldn't leave my purse sitting on the counter. But now, in this new marriage, where I know that this man is not stealing from me, but I'm going to still take my purse, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to still put it up and lock it in my nightstand. You know what I'm saying? That's just an example. Probably a bad one, but y'all see what I'm saying. So Josh just got to stop all that fucking lying. You're an adult. You also need to have the wherewithal to know when something that you're doing or saying is going to trigger your wife. Why you don't get that, I don't understand. Something about Josh ain't right, y'all. I'm telling you. Something about him ain't curling all the way over. Jalen is saying that she is able to forgive him. And the way she said it, I was like, ugh. I was with Dr. Pia and Pastor Cal. Girl, it's not giving that, okay? So to Jalen, forgiveness is letting go and finally letting go. And Pastor Cal said, well, actually, baby, forgiveness is releasing judgment. It's not forgetting, but it's releasing judgment. It's not holding it over that person's head, okay? Jalen said it's frustrating to her because she has laid the groundwork to be honest. And little lies lead to big lies. And I 1000% believe that too. If you are lying about something as insignificant as following somebody on social media, what else would you lie about? Because we already think you're lying about the prenup. What Jalen does not want is for Josh to turn into a yes man, and he's giving her everything she wants, telling her what she wants to hear, all for him to then resent her later. And I understand what she's saying, but you've been okay with him being the yes man up until he's now not being the yes man to you. Right? Because if Josh would have unfollowed his ex, y'all wouldn't even be having this conversation about yes men. Okay. So Jalen brings up how Josh was initially saying that if she does not want to go to festivals, then that is okay. And she was like, I don't want to go to Burning Man. I don't think it'll be something that I will be comfortable with. I said, let me look up what Burning Man is. Okay. I'm sorry. I had to look it up. Burning Man is a week-long annual arts festival held in the Black Rock Desert of Nevada, centered on community, art, self expression, and self reliance. Participants create a temporary city with the event culminating, culminating in the ceremonial burning of a large effigy called the Man. I'm gonna be real with you, it sounds cultish. Don't take me nowhere where we're gonna burn a wooden man. What in the Blair Witch is this? Girl, I wouldn't want to go either, Jalen. Sound like some shit if you ask me. But the festival is guided by 10 principles, such as gifting, the commodification. The commodification. Child, I know I'm saying. I know I'm saying it wrong. Don't y'all come for me in the comments. What a word. Okay, and leaving no trace, which influenced the unique money-free culture of the event. Now they're saying money-free, but the article right underneath says that the cost, so it ain't free, the cost to Burning Man can range from roughly 1,000 to over 10,000 depending on your spending of the tickets, transportation, and supplies. A standard ticket is $750 plus your car, okay, has a fee of $150, the vehicle pass, while other costs like food, water, and equipment are the attendees' responsibility. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. It is not a nude event, but nudity is welcome. You cannot bring weapons, fireworks, explosives, or animals. You cannot have glitter, feathers, or styrofoam. Sequence is not allowed because it creates litter. We're going to talk Burning Man in a minute. I've heard about Burning Man, but I didn't know what it was. Like, girl, what's getting me is the fact that y'all burn, like, why are y'all burning something? Why y'all burning a man? Like, legit. So, she don't want to go. She does not feel comfortable with it. I don't know if it's a week. I don't understand why this is an issue, okay? So, Josh said that, hey, I need help understanding, or we need help understanding what a healthy medium is. He said that a big part of him is dancing and hanging out with his friends. Josh said, I'm out here dancing and emphasizing, okay? That's what he wants to do. Jalen said, well, go. I don't have an issue with you going. Jalen is saying, I don't care if you go. I don't want to go with you. Josh in his mind is hearing, I can't go. Josh then said, hey, okay, fine. If you don't want to go, then that's fine. Maybe I can have something else that I go to that I get those feelings. And I'm like, okay, Josh, whatever. Jalen said, look, if this is such a big part of you, then maybe you need to find somebody else that you can enjoy those festivals with. Now, I do think that particular statement, one, was very telling, and two, that was not the right response, Jalen. That wasn't the right response. So we panned off of this because that was a lot for me, okay? We go see Megan and Derek. They go do a cold plunge. Derek does 2 minutes and 30 seconds. While he's doing it, Megan is kind of taunting him, but that's their banter. But she's like, are you breathing? Breathe slow. Do this like bop, bop, ba da 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 da, okay? She keeps saying how she was going to outbeat his time and did. She did like 4 minutes and 30 seconds. She said her toes were turning purple. Girl, is it worth it? I guess. Everything is a competition to her. And I guess that works for them, but I would feel like after a while that gets annoying to hear. To me, at least. We pay it back over to Josh and Jalen, okay? Let me wet my whistle for this. Because a lot was happening. Pastor Cal and Dr. Peel left, okay? So Josh said that he would love for Jalen to experience festivals with him, but he is going to figure out what could give him that same feeling of freeness and community and whatever that they can do together that is not a festival, okay? He said, but just so you know, like, I'm sure we won't have that figured out by decision day, which is in like another 3 weeks. Jalen said, okay, I get that. That's fine. But then Josh is like, I just want you to give it a chance. I want you to give it a chance. I want us to do this together. I went to cycling with you. Oh, cycling is 45 minutes. Don't do that. Burning Man is a week. Okay, but it doesn't matter. What's 45 minutes out of a week? I want you to let me finish. I want you to let me finish talking, okay? You're interrupting me. Because that's how I'd have been looking at y'all. Who the fuck you yelling at? So, then it turns into Josh starting to guilt her into wanting to go. I just don't want us to look back and we're on our deathbeds and you think to yourself, would it have killed me to go that 1 week with Josh? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just, you can go. You are okay to go by yourself. How would you feel if I told you that you couldn't cycle anymore? Well, that's my career. There's a difference. Cycling is my career, but I'm saying it's passion. I am talking. No, I'm talking. Everybody shut the fuck up. Listen. Josh, what you're not going to do is compare her being a cycle instructor, which is her job, to you wanting to go frolic at a festival. You cannot compare the two. Yes, they are both passions, but one is putting food on the table and one is you going to get your yayas off, okay? Don't do that. You're comparing a career to a hobby. And you know that's not fair. You know it's not fair. I am simply just explaining passion. Oh, God. Don't you roll your eyes at me, you hussy. Don't you roll your eyes at me. It's disrespectful, and I'm not going to take it. I said, wait a minute. When he said, don't you roll your eyes at me, listen. Is it disrespectful to roll your eyes at somebody? Yes. But the way that he flipped out. So look, Josh, Jalen is not saying that you cannot go at all. She's not saying, I don't want you to go. She is telling you if it is such a big part of your life, because to your point, okay, Jalen said that if you were to tell her that she had to give up cycling, then that would be the end of it for her because you're telling her to give up her career. Cycling is right up the fucking street. Cycling is you still have like you cannot compare Burning Man to her doing a cycle class. That's for 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4, baby. So we got to get some perspective about ourselves when it comes to that. Why can't y'all find a compromise? Right? Why does it have to be off rip? She's going into Burning Man. There's not like a Burning Man light that's like 2 days. Like I guess for me, I would not. I don't camp. Okay, I'm not doing no outside shit like that. For starters. However, if my husband is real into something like that, my first inkling would be, is there a shorter version that we can go to? Let me work my way up to Burning Man. You know what I mean? Let me work my way up to it. What is a festival that I can go to with you that is simply 1 or 2 days? I don't like, and then you sitting up there and you're crying. You're crying, Josh. The fuck are you crying for? What are you crying for? I don't understand this. This is beyond me. Cause I know you not crying when she told your ass you can still go. She didn't say if you continue to go, I want a divorce. She said go. I don't want to go with you. And I feel like that should be okay. But at the same time, if Burning Man is such a big part of your life, and this is how you express yourself, and it's so important for you to have a partner that wants to go to Burning Man with you, then you should have went out and found you a heifer at Burning Man to marry. That's where you find somebody. But you can't expect to be partnered up with somebody, that a stranger at that, and get mad that they don't want to go live in a fake city and burn them. We're not going to keep on this because this was silly, Josh. You starting to really piss me off now. Speaking of being pissed off, we get to Rhonda and Pat. So Rhonda is in the car, just now she's Tammy Talk a lot, bumping the gums about her life story once again, once again, once again. Now Pat is looking at the directions. He's trying to get into traffic, and Rhonda she says, we were at Kilgore, and then after Kilgore, we turned and we lived in, I don't know, Methuselah, wherever else, right? So she goes. So Rhonda is saying that we went to move to Methuselah, whatever the case. Pat, who is looking at clearly the GPS, the Apple Maps, the Google Maps, whatever, is like, okay, so you said you guys were at Kilgore. No, I said that a long time ago. You said it 30 seconds ago, Rhonda. You said it 30 seconds ago. So she once again feels that he is not interested in her. I'm going to be real with you, Rhonda. I have yet to hear you ask Pat anything. Am I missing the scenes? But I haven't heard you ask Pat anything. So then she goes on and she's talking about her uncle that I guess raised her and her daughter, or excuse me, her and her sister, or stepped in, and she's like, and we're in his room and we find a stack of Playboy magazines. And Pat was like, yeah, that was common. My dad had a bunch too. I didn't think that was a bad thing to interject. I didn't. That's not a revelation, girl. Now, if you find like some dead heads or something, then maybe we can be like, but girl, a Playboy, yes, everybody back in the Gap had Playboy magazines. It's not that big of a deal, right? So she was like, we're talking about my uncle. And I'm like, oh, girl, go to hell. They get to the cemetery. She's asking Pat while they're sitting there if he wants to say something to her father. He was like, nice to meet you. I mean, she seems upset by that and tells him, why don't you go give me some privacy? Okay. So back in the car, she is saying how, her father passed away when she was young. She was 19 years old. Her father's been gone for 44 years. So Pat was like, how long did you say your father's been gone? And she was like, I just told you. He was like, okay, there are some things that I am going to miss. I can't pick up on everything. Rhonda said, should I talk less? Yes, the fuck you should. Yes. Yes. Talk less. Alexander Hamilton said it best in that play. Wasn't that Aaron Burr? Talk less. Smile more, okay? Like, you're talking too much. Rhonda, Pat said, I'm tired of this shit. Pat pulls over and I screamed. I hollered. He said, look. I'm doing the best I can. I am trying to drive. It's a lot of information that you're telling me. It's a lot to process. And it's really getting on my last damn nerve that you scold me and then you shut down. It's a lot of information. Rhonda apologizes and was like, it's important to me to feel seen and heard. Here's the thing with Rhonda. I get that, Rhonda. We know that that is important to you. But is it not important to Pat that he also does not feel scolded? Talking about some she needs grace. You're not extending grace. So the audacity, the guard, the temerity, the nerve, the gumption of you to want him to give you grace when you're not extending it yourself. Pat then said, it feels like you're testing me. Everything feels like a test. Rhonda said, well, this ain't the first time I've been sharing a vulnerable moment and it feels like you're not present or listening. Rhonda, you are always sharing a vulnerable moment. Let's be real. You're talking about your father with the 44 years. Yes, vulnerable moment. You talking about finding Playboys in your uncle's closet is not a vulnerable moment. That's not a vulnerable moment. Everything that you talk about is vulnerable. Girl, you don't just talk about chips. Okay, like, come on, Rhonda. Girl, I know you're going to be single at the end of this. You're going to be single for life, okay? For life. Shit. Sick of Rhonda's ass. Sick of Rhonda. Hey, Seuss. So, we get to Will and Brittany. I got to do the recap the way y'all want me to, because Brittany is 1000% in the right. Okay, only Will is wrong. Okay, so let me get my mental right, because I can't be neutral. I gotta, So Brittany is saying that she thought by this stage in the marriage, they would be in love and the feelings would be further along, but something is missing. Brittany, you're 1000% right. Y'all absolutely should be further along. Who cares if he's a stranger and he has feelings and he has different, things? Brittany, you are 1000% correct. You've been doing everything right. So Dr. Pia and Pastor Cal come over. Brittany and Will both say that things are good. Will, you are a filthy liar. How dare you lie? How dare you lie about that? Things are clearly not good. You're monotone. You don't express yourself. You don't emote. How could you think everything is going good? So Pastor Cal asks if there are issues. Will said no. Oh my God, Will. You don't think there's issues? Okay. Brittany said yes. Yes, Brittany, you are 1000% right, girl. Y'all got all the issues in the world. This is Will's fault. You are doing everything right, my good sis. Stand up for love, black girl magic. That's what y'all want to hear, right? So Brittany then said, I don't know where Will stands. Like, I'm asking him every day and he's telling me answers, but it's not what I want to hear. So Will is in the wrong. Tell me that you love me, Will. Even if you don't, I want you to tell me that you're in love with me, because that's what I want to hear. Because in my mind, we should be further along than this. And we're not. So it must be Will's fault. Will said, well, we have the conversation often. Every single day you are asking me about decision day. I'm sorry that I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I should be telling you every day that I love you and you're the best person ever and this is my future. You are my future. Will, why aren't you doing that? Oh my God. Will said that he doesn't know what will transpire in the future, but I'm answering how I feel in the moment. That's the wrong thing to do, Will. You should be answering how she wants you to feel in the moment, not how you're actually feeling. It should be how Brittany wants you to feel in the moment because Brittany is always right. Okay, you're in control of Brittany's emotions and Brittany's actions. If Brittany's not picking up on what you're putting down, that's not that's not Brittany's fault. That's yours. Will acknowledges that he is not giving her maybe enough reassurance. God will, finally, you're understanding. You are the problem. Only you. Brittany is 1029.2% correct. Brittany feels like she's walking on eggshells to not irritate him or piss him off because she wants him to keep feeling like he feels in the moment. So I'm not going to be my true self and I'm not going to be honest about my emotions as Brittany because, Will, you should be able to pick up on what I want you to do. Will said, I didn't know I didn't know you felt that way. Brittany admits never telling Will, but Brittany, it's okay that you didn't say it. Will is a mind reader, and how dare he not read your mind? Will said that Brittany needs to give both of them the opportunity to be true to themselves. And it feels like she is kind of cheating them both out of this experience. Will, how dare you call Brittany out for something that you feel she's doing? How dare you? How dare you? Brittany is asking Will if he wants to even give her a sense of security. Will was like, well, I didn't know that I wasn't until now. But yes, I do. Will, how dare you not know that? You're a mind reader. Who cares if Brittany never said it? You should just know this is all your fault. God forbid a person be a little more on the muted side. This is all your fault. Pastor Cal and Dr. Pia said, hey, have you guys expressed life after decision day? Will said, well, I'm fine with living in your place, but I'm definitely still going to keep mine. Pastor Cal said, Brittany, what did you hear him say in that moment? Brittany doesn't respond because Will is supposed to be a mind reader. He is supposed to know that the way that he phrased that was a dagger to her. How dare he not know? Brittany is always right. Pastor Cal said, Brittany, in this moment, are you feeling him saying that I'm keeping my place in case this doesn't work? Brittany says yes, very shyly, very quietly, nodding, right? Not using her words. So Pastor Cal asks her, well, why didn't you say that? Brittany said, I'm still processing. Let Brittany have all the time in the world to process, but Will has to answer everything right away the way that Brittany wants because Brittany's always right. Pastor Cal is asking Will, do you not understand? Like, is that what you're thinking? Will was like, no, I re-signed my lease and I don't want to break a contract. You simple SOB. You should have said all of that in one moment. You're a terrible person, Will. Brittany is always right. Will explains that I live closer to the airport, so like when we travel, I'm downtown. If we want to go out and do things, it's a benefit for both of us. Will acknowledges the way that he said it was a little cold and direct. Eureka, Will. Wow. Finally, you're acknowledging that you're an awful cold-hearted person that doesn't like Brittany. But it's okay because Brittany's always right. Brittany's always right. So it's fine. Perfectly fine. Dr. Pia lets Will know that what he said is a rebuttal a lot of times. Will said, okay, well, I mean, Brittany, can you help me with that? Let me know when you feel as if I am doing something so that I can course correct. Tell me if you feel a way so that you don't think that I don't care about us. Will, you should know. How dare you not know to change your personality and how you communicate with Brittany, who hasn't said a word? because you should be in love with her because that's what Brittany wants. Brittany is then asked if she is able to be completely honest with Will and to let her walls down and let whatever happens happen. Brittany gets emotional. Brittany doesn't think she's guarded. She didn't think she was. Will pulls her into a hug. That's not intimate enough. That is not how she wants you to acknowledge her. She wants you to lay her down, rip her clothes off, and fuck her. That's intimacy to Brittany. Will, you should know this by now. You constantly reassuring her with hugs and always pulling her into a hug and always wrapping your arm around her and always making sure to come and stand in front of her and you're attentive to her and you give her eye contact. That's wrong. Brittany's doing nothing wrong. Brittany then said that she thinks something is missing, but didn't think it was because she is guarded. Brittany, nothing you're doing is wrong. You're doing everything right. This is all Will. Dr. Pia points out that this is Will's way of emotional closeness. This is his intimacy. You seemed upset. He immediately pulled you into a hug. He didn't use his words necessarily, but he used his actions. That's not enough, Will. Don't use your actions, even though actions speak louder than words. You should be telling Brittany, I love you. I'm in love with you. I will always be in love with you because that's what Brittany wants. Was that good enough for y'all? Was that good enough? Okay, let's go to the next person. Let's go to the next scene. So we get to Derek and Megan. So Dr. Pia and Pastor Cal come over, and Megan said that communication is at an all-time high for them. They now realize that she is more aggressive in communication, and he is more passive. And we find out that Derek has finally told her that I love you the other night where they were in bed. Rhonda and Pat. So they're making the pizza, and Rhonda is saying that she has been trying to figure out why the listening thing is so big for her. And she has found out that her biggest insecurity is being chosen. So apparently her father has always wanted a boy. Her father, they never had boys, she just has a sister. And so her father kind of made the other sister kind of the boy, where, you know, he would take her hunting and tennis lessons and all this stuff that Rhonda was listening that her sister did with her father, she was saying she didn't want to do anyways. But it made her feel as if her father was choosing her sister and not her. Rhonda also said that in past relationships, she was always deemed too loud and she was getting yelled at and screamed at. You think that I'm scolding you. I was getting yelled at and screamed at. Now that is you invalidating Pat's experience. The same way that you have felt that he's been doing to you, for you to say, if you think I'm yelling at you, that's nothing. I have been yelled and screamed at. Okay, so she feels like him not being interested in knowing her means that he is not choosing her. Okay, and I just want to say all of that is fine and valid, Rhonda, if that is truly how you feel. However, it's a lack of accountability for what you're doing back to Pat. We don't see you asking anything about Pat. Does Pat feel chosen? You're not choosing Pat. You don't seem interested in knowing anything about Pat. I'm sick of Rhonda. So we get to Brittany and Will. They go to Brittany's family's house. Her family was a whole vibe. They were very warm. They were inviting. I love seeing Black families on TV be like, bump the cameras, we gonna be ourselves. So they're looking at photo books with her mom, and Brittany thinks that she's bubbly, and Will was like, sure, we can call it that. Will, how dare you? Even though Brittany's mom was like, you are not bubbly, but Brittany's always right, okay? So her mother tells her to pick and choose your battles. That's how marriage works. Her cousin had me screaming. Her cousin was like, I ain't never even seen you kiss nobody. Kiss him. Kiss him. So they kissed. And then her cousin was like, y'all, they kiss. Y'all, they kissing. They kissing, y'all. So everybody comes. Everybody comes running in to watch them kiss. I was screaming. I loved the entire scene. I loved everything about the scene. And then we pan over to Megan and Derek, and Megan is pregnant. Girl, I mean, you about to have that baby now. Considering that you were scared of childbirth, here we go. Here we go. And that was the end of the episode. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down below. This is way too long of a recap, but subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.